Hi, my name's Jeff, and I'm with Graffen. We're a managed IT provider here in the Philadelphia area, and I'm here today to talk with you about password policy guidelines in 2026. So, if you're a Graffen customer, this is meant for you. We'll be having plenty of conversations around what a good password policy looks like. So, feel free to share this with your team as we have those conversations. If you're not a Graffen customer, feel free to utilize this presentation and share it with your own team. So we're seeing an increase in cybersecurity incidents across the board. And we think that a strong password policy is a key ingredient. It's imperative. It's the first layer to an overall cybersecurity strategy that we want to put in place. So as we get started, I want to talk about NIST. And NIST is the National Institute for Standards and Technology. It's a government agency that creates the policies, procedures, and framework around everything related to cybersecurity. So whatever they present, we adopt, and in turn, we recommend our own clients. In this case, NIST recommends in their guidelines around a good password policy is length over complexity and passphrases that are memorable. So again, the longer the better, and memorable is the way to go. So up until recently, a complex password was the key ingredient, but that's no longer going forward. A complex password is a mixture of uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and special characters or symbols. Now, there's a couple of problems with this. One is people would create really difficult, complex passwords, and they were difficult to remember, and they would forget them. So now if you have a lot of users forgetting the passwords, it creates more work for your IT staff. So they decided to do away with complex passwords. The other reason is that people would take shortcuts. To give an example, a user may have a dog named Charlie, and they want to create their password off that name. So instead of the A in Charlie, they would make it an @ sign, and maybe instead of the L, they would make it a exclamation point, and then throw a number one at the end just for the kicks, right? Now the problem is if a hacker's attached to your account and they're using the latest and greatest software to try to hack your password, the name Charlie with a couple of special characters isn't going to do it. So it kind of shortcuts it, and it's not a great example of a complex password. At the same time, the policy was to change your passwords every so often. So users would change it from Charlie 1 to Charlie 2 and then Charlie 3. And again, that's no more difficult to crack for those hackers. So in the end, they're saying a minimum of 8 characters, and really 12 to 15 characters or more is better. So the longer the better, and a good passphrase that's memorable is the way to go. So I'm going to give you a couple examples of what good passwords look like. And one is sunset stopwatch fence. It's a good passphrase. It's long and it's memorable. So it's 3 words. Once you start typing it in for the first or second time, you're going to remember it. The next one is purple steel monkey. So this one's long, it's memorable, has a couple of extra characters in the dashes, and that makes it a little bit more difficult to crack. And lastly is mountain, breeze, 5, tree. Again, it's long, it's memorable, it has a number 5 in it. Again, it's okay to sprinkle a couple of numbers or characters to make it a little bit more difficult, but don't make it too complex where you can't remember it. That's the idea. All right, so those are great examples of passphrases. They're in line with NIST best practices. So hopefully you can mimic these going forward in anywhere possible, and try not to replicate passwords. Don't use the same password for different accounts. That's where a password manager can come into play. So we do recommend using a password manager like 1Password. It allows you to create different passwords that are difficult, long, and complex. Complex is great, but they're difficult to remember. So if you use a password manager, it allows you to create long, complex passwords. They're on your PC and your mobile device, so you don't have to remember everything. And it makes it really difficult for people to crack your accounts. So I think using a password manager is the way to go if you can. And in the end, always use multi-factor authentication. So try not to use email or text messages to get the authentication code. Use an authenticator app like Microsoft or Google. Always use it. It drives me crazy to think that clients or other folks out there aren't using multi-factor authentication. So look, I hope this helps. This is some really good examples of passwords. And before I go, I do want to talk about prioritizing cybersecurity, starting at the leadership level. We'll be talking with our clients around creating a culture of cybersecurity within their environment, within their team. And it has to start from the top down. So as you understand your risks, your vulnerabilities. You put together a cybersecurity strategy with your team. It's got to start with your leadership and ownership level. If you leave it to your staff, it's not going to get done. And so it's most important to drive it from top down. It's too important to your business. So I hope that makes sense. Now, listen, if you have any questions, of course, reach out to us at graffen.com. Again, my name's Jeff, and I hope this helps. All right, have a great day.